Guys, congratulations on seeing the season out with a win after the disappointment of Wednesday. How much did you need that today for these fans?
I think winning is always important for this team. We knew this season it was a tough season for everyone, especially for us. But today we won, and we just won for proud because the fans deserve this win, the club, and we are really sorry for what happened this season. We keep learning, and we will back next season stronger.
Christian, everyone came into this game expecting this was going to be the last time we saw you play for Manchester United. Can you confirm that that is correct?
Yeah, that is correct, and I think that's also why Bruno gave me a pen. I think obviously as a nice farewell, but no, I mean you can hear it here today. Like Ahmad said, I think we did it today for the fans. You know, we had a tough season, but yeah, I'm gonna wish them all the best. It's an incredible stadium, incredible club. Yeah, I'm hope they'll be back on top at some point for sure.
So a bit of a surprise to be taking the penalty today, but is it the perfect way to see your time out at Manchester United?
Yeah, I think so. Definitely with a goal and the last half an hour here in the stadium. I mean, it's been some exciting few years been in this stadium and playing for this club. But I've enjoyed it, and I'm taking a lot of good memories with me.
What next?
What's next? First of all, holiday and relax, national team, and then we'll see what the future holds. I'm still fit to play, so we'll see where.
You can hear these fans in the stadium, Ahmad. How much did you want to put in a good performance for these fans, just so there's a bit of positivity going into next season?
I think they deserve everything. They deserve the positivity for us. They deserve the win for us. It's a big club. We know that. We know this season was very, very hard for everyone, and even for them. But they was always here to support us. No matter what, I want to say thanks for them, and we will come back next season stronger.
Well done today, guys.
Thank you so much.
There was so much hope and belief coming into this game that you could get the job done and qualify for the Champions League. So how tough is that to take?
Yeah, tough to take, especially in the circumstances. I don't think any of us in the dressing room, anyone watching the game, felt like we deserved to win. Man United deserved to win. They were a better team. They were on the front foot, missed loads of chances. But the decision is incredible. I think everyone, when VAR was implemented, wanted the correct decisions. They wanted if it's offside, be offside. You watch rugby, if there's a try given, even if the referee's awarded it, if it's wrong, it's overturned. If it's right, the try's given. So I know it's the rule. I've seen it before a couple of times, but it's so hard to take, especially when the impact it has on us as a team and as a club is so big. So for Thomas to blow his whistle at that point is it's really tough to take and to handle. I don't think we deserve to win the game, but at that point you're 1 up with 20 to go. All you need is a point to get in the Champions League. It's a really costly one. And
really honest reaction there from John McGinn. He admitted Manchester United deserved the win, were the better team, but really frustrated because of that disallowed goal, Joe, purely because of the fact that the review couldn't take place. So we'll never know just how significant that is, and the ramifications for Aston Villa could be huge.
Yeah, the ramifications are huge, and it is significant, and we do know, we know that before VAR, referees made mistakes and we come out here, but like I thought he's spot on there. So when VAR's there, it's there for moments like these, big moments like these, when you want to get it right. And
but is the point that's not VAR's fault? It's
the referee's
human error.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That whether it's VAR or human error, this is going to happen in football, and it's horrible. Me and Crouch have both been on the end of bad decisions and things like that. But it's, at this moment now, you're smarting. If you're in the Villa dressing room, you'll feel the pain. It's like, look, and it's a gift, by the way, because they had nothing. They had no chances. Man United shut them out, but the referee blows the whistle. He makes a human error. But you also want sense to prevail and go, come on, guys, I got it wrong. There's a clear gap.
Yeah, you can see he's not got control of the ball. I just think referees know they should be trained, or they should know that you just delay. You just got to delay the decisions, because you know that
they do it with the offsides, don't they?
Yeah, I mean the offsides winds everyone up. Everybody can see he's a mile offside, and we still have to play through this pantomime of when the linesman puts his flag up. But with that one, all he's got to wait is a couple more seconds, and then it's VAR review, and then they'll see what we've seen there, and they give the goal.
If that happens mid-season and it costs you points, it will be talked about a lot, and you'll be furious, but you move on. But because it's the last game of the season, and because of the implications with Champions League, that's going to take a long time, Joe, to get over.
Yeah, there'll be some of them players in that dressing room, there'll be years before they forget that bad decision. But, you know, Unai Emery, you see immediately his reaction. You know, I thought he composed himself quite well because, you know, the emotions of the game and everything's riding on it for this club. You know, we knew that they needed Champions League football, but, you know, for the financial situation the club's in, you know, and getting in and getting out could mean massive difference for where they go next season. So a lot was riding on that decision. But let's not forget as well, if you take a step back from it, Aston Villa didn't deserve nothing from today's game because of the performance.
It's the best we've seen Manchester United, Peter, do you think, in quite some time today?
Yeah, I think, you know, we can easily get hung up on the decision, but Manchester United fully deserved it. I thought that was a moment of real class. Bruno Fernandes, such a talented player, and he puts it right on the sixpence, and great finish from Ahmad, great finish at the back post. Ramsey just switches off.
Yeah, it's a fantastic ball. Bruno Fernandes, watching him live is a real privilege and a joy, the way he graces the pitch. Again, Ahmed does really well here. I think he just times it. It's clumsy.
Clear pen, though.
It's clear pen. There was no the back foot here. You say
stands on it.
You know, you cannot touch anybody in the box there. He puts his clear penalty. Ahmad was good as well. They're the two players, Bruno and Ahmad, and I thought Mason Mount done very, very well today as well. He looked sharp. You know, and there was a little bit, and there's a lovely touch there, Eriksen at the end, coming on his last game for Manchester United. That's a beautiful moment and something to hold on to for the season, for the fans.
Yeah, we were right by Ruben Amorim, and he clearly wanted Christian Eriksen to step up and take that penalty.
There was a shout of Johnny Evans at one stage, but I don't think he brushed that aside very quickly. But listen, Christian Eriksen is a very capable penalty taker. But I was saying to Joe, I'm not sure I didn't like it that much. It's beautiful for Christian Eriksen, but you know, I just think if Villa go up, and if he misses that, Villa go up and score. If you're a Newcastle fan, or you know, I think you've been fuming.
We'll talk about that disallowed goal a lot, but also how costly was Emi Martinez getting sent off in that first half, Joe, because it was like a rugby tackle.
It was. I mean, moments in games. Again, Matty Cash undersells the goalie there. Hoyland reacts well. Martinez. I always wonder with goalkeepers when you're in that situation. You know, you have to make a split decision. Are you gonna make the foul, or are you gonna bank on him and missing it? And I think he commits to it. He doesn't even try and disguise it, I don't think. There's no theatrics or anything like that. He has to go, and it's a crucial decision, and the game pivoted on that. Actually, the game didn't pivot on that. Manchester United was still in the ascendancy, but they made it very, very tough for themselves.
If that is his last game, what a way to say goodbye.
I know. You got to feel for him. He makes a decision there. He probably thinks that, you know, no Villa players can get back on the line. But I think if he sees it back, he probably lets him go. But you make a split decision like that, and he's done him and had to go.
Season, and it's going to take a while for Villa to get over this result today. But if we want to think about the positives, Unai Emery has an incredible record in the Europa League. Tottenham have won it this season, finishing 17th, Joe. So they've got to see that as a massive opportunity to win European silverware.
I think it's whoever goes in the Europa League from our league will see it as a massive opportunity, because the new structure of it, where the Champions League teams are not dropping out. You know, we've seen that with Spurs and Manchester United. You know, Spurs winning at Manchester United, getting to the final, and you know, they're not a strong year in the Europa League. But listen, credit to Spurs for doing it. But Villa, listen, the club's on the up. Yeah, you know, I know they've had a taste of Champions League football. They've got there's been a big investment, exciting young players, good experience. I still think there's a real team in there. But today, I don't know what happened. I'm looking at it, and they just wasn't at it from the start. But they'll be looking at that once the dust settles, restructure the squad. They may have to sell one of their great young players.
I was going to say, how could this affect the progress now, though, because of the players they can attract now without Champions League, and also the ones they can hold on to?
I think it's holding on to. I mean, Morgan Rogers springs to mind. We know Ollie Watkins had issues, you know, with his future at some point during the season. You know, Ramsey's another good young player. So I don't know what this financial situation is, but
they've got to bring money in, I think, before the end of June.
So you would imagine one or two of them. Martinez looked like he was on the way out last week. He
went out quicker than expected.
Yes, he did. Yeah. So there's players that there'll be a reshuffling. But what I would say is they've been very good in the transfer market. So if you're an Aston Villa supporter, you'll be thinking to yourself, right, okay, if we might lose one of them, but we've been bringing good players in, and they're working with what we're doing. And Unai Emery is excellent in the Europa League. So there's a lot of positives still. It might be a hard pill to swallow at the moment, but I think Villa is on the right track.
Yeah. Newcastle, though, did it the hard way today, Peter. Lost at home to Everton, which I think nobody predicted, but they're celebrating on the pitch at St James's Park, because what a season it's been. A cup and qualifying for the Champions League.
Yeah, I mean, it couldn't have gone any better. Obviously, the last day of the season, you just didn't see that one coming. You know, I think Everton was safe. They've got a lot to play for. And Newcastle was so dominant at home. We've seen them so many times play so well there. You didn't see that result coming, but you know, they've managed to do it. And like you say, when you wrap it all up at the end of the day, I think Aston Villa, although they'll be disappointed, they're outside chances really for the Champions League. They've given themselves a little bit to do. They got themselves back into it with their form, which was fantastic. But they've got a manager who knows the Europa League. They've got a squad built for it now. I was at the training ground recently. You know, the infrastructure around it. They're putting a hotel in the training ground, so they're kind of gearing themselves up for those late European nights. And I think that's something that they'll come to expect. And I think Newcastle are in the same vein, really.
Can it help them go to the next level now and help them keep their top players?
Newcastle.
That's the thing, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, fantastic year for Eddie and the team up there. They can. You know, they've had, like you said, they had a dabble in the Champions League. They saw what it was about. I think that the big thing for the club is winning the trophy, Linz, because, you know, we see what that meant to the city, to the club, to the people.
That was the most important thing, but now they can build.
Yeah, now they can
and
build.
And give the money to do that.
And every year passes when they're at that end of the Premier League and they can attract players. They have to keep Isak. But again, we don't know the financial situation. How are they going to keep players? You know, Anthony Gordon, Isak, Guimaraes, Tonali's come back in. There's been lots and lots of quality coming through that club now. And I think they're in a situation now to keeping hold of what they're going to add in one or two players here and there into the squad. And Newcastle, it's exciting. It's great to see different teams up and amongst it.
162 days Nottingham Forest were in the top 5, Peter.
I'm getting yourself a penalty, Liz. Yeah, come on, Liz. It's been a long season.
There you go.
Here we go.
I'm on my own. No one else is fitting under this one.
Yeah, I'm glad Joel's on this. You're a gent. Thank you. Is it still a really successful season for them, Conference League Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, at the start of the season, they would have, bit your arm off for it. But the fact that they were in the Champions League places for so long, there will be an element of disappointment. I think they were in the Champions League place, in the Europa League place. You know, there will be some disappointment. But I think again, when you look at it from the start of the season, Nottingham Forest have had an amazing season. I mean, what they've produced this year was phenomenal. They've given the fans something to really get behind. I think Nuno's proven what a great manager is after some disappointments recently. So all in all, a brilliant season for them.
Chelsea, it was in their hands, though, against a top 5 contender. They did their job. Levi Colwill with the goal for the Blues. What kind of belief does this now give in the Enzo Maresca project?
Massive. I think, like I said, I think it's the Enzo Maresca. It's just the new ownership project. We're 3 years into a 5-year project, you know, and they've got, I think that was the line for this year, Champions League football, because again financial situations, the players on long contracts. You know, if Chelsea wouldn't have made Champions League, I'd have been worried for you know, Cole Palmer's future maybe, because how are you going to keep your best players without Champions League football? All players want to play in it. So, but fantastic achievement for Chelsea. Enzo, I'm really pleased for him, because he took a lot of heat during this season, and he had what I thought was the hardest job out of all the Premier League managers at the start of the season. And they got a cup final to look forward to, you know, so everything's positive. And I think
even better, Joel.
Yeah, it could get better. And with these young players, if they go and win a trophy on Wednesday night, and then they start in the season in Champions League, they'll go away in the summer, they'll be excited, leave this season as champions, as winning something, and they'll come on another level. So it's positive for Chelsea as well.
Good job from Enzo Maresca.
Yeah, he's done it. He's done it. I didn't want to interrupt there because you two look like you're on a date. I know that, Bronnie.
I do think it looks like we're just out for a walk in the park,
third
didn't
wheel.
it?
Absolute spare
go
part
on.
on the side here. God, you two carry on.
Peter, how do you sum up? Go on, you can join us.
Right.
How do you sum up the job Maresca's done?
I think he's done. He's done a really good job. I think there was a little wobble where. They struggled a little bit, and there was the fans attacking kind of his style of play. But again, at the start of the season, I think they were in the title hunt at one stage. Really, they fell away for a little bit, and they've come back into it. And you got to say it's a successful season. They've managed to get themselves in the Champions League spots, and that's where Chelsea should be.
And a potential trophy as well. We are still waiting for Unai Emery as well to come out and chat to us to get his reaction. I would imagine that there's a bit of a debrief going on.
Take 20 minutes, Unai, do some
in the dressing room.
guided
It's probably
meditation.
wise, Joe, isn't it?
Really?
Do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he needs to really come down because the emotions he would have been feeling. He trudged off the pitch. We saw some of the Villa officials speaking to the referees. He's obviously come down from a director's box somewhere. So emotions are higher when the stakes are like that, and I think the manager needs to just compose himself, do his media obligations, and you can't change it. You can come out and moan about it and fume at the world, but it's done now. Ultimately, it's not going to change. So there's nothing to gain from it. Just come out. We've all said the injustice that we've seen. We think the referee's made a mistake. It won't be the first time in football. It won't be the last time.
When Unai Emery was going down, obviously I've seen one of his coaching staff having strong words with the fourth official, and then Unai. I wonder. I'd like to hear what Unai says because it looked like he might have got an apology from the referee.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's going to come out, I think, very soon to chat to us. But hopefully, as you said, he's taken a few deep breaths.
I'd need a spa day before speaking to the ref if I was a Villa manager.
You'd need an Indian head massage first to calm you down. How would you feel if you were a player in that dressing room now?
Actually, as a player, because you got you're up, all your testosterone, you just finished playing. It's actually, you don't realise it. It's hours later when the disappointment kicks in because it's anger. The initial emotion's anger. And you can be going, but you can be punching the walls and doing whatever you do, or to vent it, be shouting at each other, screaming. But you've got the emotion. The manager is not as much hyped up, and he has to go and then deal with the press and become measured and composed and say things. Players, it's easier. It's 4 or 5 hours after the game when the disappointment really and you realisation was the decisions really affected your team's career, your team's career, your situation, everything. But there's nothing you can do about it. So you just got to move forward.
And how would you have reacted to Emi Martinez as a teammate, do you think, after that?
As a teammate, he's made a split-second decision. I think it happens in football. The manager will probably have a word with him, say he's made the wrong call there. But Villa were struggling anyway. Manchester United were much the better side in that instant. But he's made a decision. He probably has apologised. He's made a mistake, but that happens in football.
Overall, though, for Manchester United now, it's given them a positive way to end the season, Joe, which perhaps can help them in the pre-season now. Yeah.
Well, they're going on tour, aren't they, today? So tomorrow, sorry. So I mean, what I felt from Manchester United was, one, it was probably the best performance I've seen for them in months, playing at this stadium, and two, I thought Ruben Amorim spoke really well, and I think that left this. The last time Manchester United fans will leave this stadium, there will be a good feeling. And going into next season, maybe good, bringing a few players in that excite the crowd, and I think it could be positive. But I think there's a long, long journey. This isn't like how Liverpool were when they were at their worst in between the eras. I think Manchester United have fallen massively.
How many years are we talking? Then
I think we're going to talk for the Premier League
before
winners?
They're back challenging, at least at the top of the table.
Well, at least. And I'm being generous, at least 5 years before they're challenging back at the top yet. And I don't think I'm being sensational there. I think that's quite reasonable from where they are. They're fourth or fifth from bottom in the Premier League, miles off it.
Yeah, it's been a woeful season. You can't dress it up. Obviously, they've changed managers halfway through the season. The new managers come in and can't seem to get a tune out of them. Again, here today, I mean, Was the pressure off? I mean, they had such a woeful performance in midweek in the final. I think the pressure was probably on them, but they came out fighting, and you can't ask for more. They've been so poor this season at times, but I thought they've been, definitely done all right today.
Well, guys, Unai Emery is here now, so we're going to get some reaction from him because he's ready to speak to Jules Breach.
Unai, it was a match full of incidents. Morgan Rogers' disallowed goal was a key moment. What would you like to say about it?
Good evening. Okay, the TV is clear with the movie, but of course we had to accept it. Of course, it was a mistake, a big mistake, and the match we played overall in 90 minutes with the red card, with this action, this goal disallowed. It was the key moment, but overall they deserve more, Manchester United, but we were being resilient, and being resilient with one player less, we could score one goal, and maybe it was a good opportunity to continue being resilient and to keep the result. But of course, we didn't perform enough today to get a good result. But we could get, in case some decision weren't like it was.
Have you been able to have a conversation after the game with the referee about that decision?
Yes. I told him, but he knows it.
He admitted it was a mistake.
The next one.
Because that was a mistake in the game that you, and we spoke to your captain, John McGinn, as well, do you feel like the VAR rules need to be looked at?
I don't want to speak now the VAR, okay? I don't want to speak now the VAR.
In terms of what this result means for Aston Villa's season then, Unai, you've said all along that qualifying for any European football would still be the aim. So now we know that competition is going to be the Europa League. How do you view that?
We did a big effort the second part of the season, and we lost the opportunity to be in the top 5 the first part of the season. But I am so proud how we progressed in the season, how we achieved the opportunity to play today for Champions League position. We got Europe, we got Europa League, and we have to be as well more or less happy about this achievement. But we were close to get the Champions League. This is the reason at the beginning the season and speaking the last matches as well about our objective was to be in Europe, and we are in Europe. We have to be happy, we have to be proud of everything we did, but of course we want always to improve, to get better, and we played the first year Conference League, we played this year Champions League, and this year Europa League, and keep going. And of course the Premier League is the most difficult league, and through it to get Europe is being so difficult because they are another thing like they are showing with their power, and even Manchester United and Tottenham, they were out of the possibility to be there. But like they show with us today, Manchester United, they are very good players, very good team.
So overall, when you look back at this season, what emotion would you use to describe how you sum this season up?
Yes, the season, I enjoy it all the season, and in Champions League, in FA Cup, in the league, and to be consistent in the league is our priority, and we did it, but was not enough to get a Champions League position. But of course, they are another team contended more than us.
Thanks, Unai.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Unai Emery, very measured in that interview. I think perhaps did the right thing, taking his time to come out and chat. He said the referee had admitted that he'd made a mistake. He didn't really want to talk about it any further, probably not to get himself into any trouble there, Joe. But what did you think of his comments there?
Well, first of all, he's a gentleman, isn't he? He said we have to accept it, and I thought he talked really well. I think with Unai, I think what he said there, what I took from it, he said we missed out on the Champions League because of the first half of the season. I think that's a fair point. I think they really turned it around, Villa, enough. But it's just hard for him to, he didn't want to talk about the VAR, which I understand. And you're coming out there and you're addressing the situation and putting it to bed. And if the ref has apologised, listen, the refs apologise. It's human error. But what I would say is we've got all of these rules in place around VAR, when you can stop, when not to let the play on here. Sometimes you just want to, we're trying to put a clamp on everything and put rules around everything. Sometimes, if the ref was allowed to referee the game, he can go to VAR when he wants. I'm not sure if I made a mistake there, he would have gone, and they'd gone, you did, and then it can be a goal. I don't know if that's possible, that type of approach, but it just seems like everyone wants to put so many rules on things.
They finished so strongly, didn't they? Winning 8 of the last 10. How do you think they will look back on the season?
Fondly, I think. Yeah, they had, like you say, they put themselves kind of way out of it, and then they were on such a good run of form, and that's a credit to the manager and the character of the players that they got themselves in the Champions League hunt. And listen, they've fallen a little bit short, but like you say, there's an opportunity for them with what Tottenham did this year for them to go and win silverware and get the Champions League next year.